What is up, YouTube? That's here today. I'm back playing more Pokemon VGC 2023 Regulation E ranked battles, and today we're using a Sun team that features Fire Ogerpon. This is the first time that I'm going to be using a team where I created all of the EV spreads for an Ogerpon team. So this is my first real attempt at using Fire Ogerpon. It's also going to be paired with a Howl physical Ninetales. If this team looks familiar, it's because I made a team building guide for this team a couple weeks ago. I think it's actually really good. The video, I'll link it in the description. It's really good. We got Scarf Tusk, got that Covert Cloak Torn, big damaging Rilla to enable our Ogerpon to go for Grassy Glides. Really solid squad. One of my patrons hooked me up and made this team into a rental, which is what we're going to be using today. But I do think this is a very cool team, and I do think the Fire Ogerpon is very good in the current meta. I want to ask you guys, though, now that we've had this format for just a little bit, what do you guys think is the best Ogerpon form and why? There's good things to say about all of them. We're going to be testing the Fire one first. Let me know also which one you want to see me use the next time I feature Ogerpon, because I can change all the masks and make all the different EV spreads. I personally think the rock one actually has some value, so if you guys want to see the rock one, let me know in the comments, and without further ado, let's get right on to these games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Oh man, that guy has Rotom. This team looks like a blast from the past. Rotom just seems so weird looking on an opposing team. I've actually really thought about using Rotom, but I think like Ogerpon's just existence makes it really hard. I think Goodra's also really hard to use in an Ogerpon meta because our Mold Breaker ability just shuts down Shell Armor and you just destroy the Goodra with Bonk Hammer, whatever that like Ivy Kruggle move is. I just call it the Bonk Hammer. Yeah, let's see. What do I want to do here? They don't have that much speed control, so I could just leave my Torn. They don't have any fake outs either, so like Torn does go up. I think like Torn Rilla could make me fake out their Ninetales. I lose them on, bring out the Ogerpon, hard switch in my Ninetales, and we're good to go. We could also just lead like Torn Ogre and just win the game with the threat of swapping in my Ninetales to stop them from doing something. I like that a lot. And then like a Choice Scarf Tusk in the back. I think Tusk is still an absolutely amazing pick in this meta. A lot of people like Landorus, but people just got kind of bored of Tusk. There was so much Tusk back when, in Regulation C that I feel like people just kind of stopped using it, even though it never stopped being like incredibly broken. It's faster than things with the Choice Scarf. It gets a photosynthesis on an already massive attack stat, and it's just good. So they're going to be leading Tauros Dragapult, which I think is fine. You know, remember Tauros comes with that big Intimidate on the fire fighting typing, but we have a high crit move, so we just lean into it, right? So we're big breaking that mold up. We don't necessarily need to use Tailwind yet, but I think there's nothing really wrong with it. We could Tailwind and Hard Swap in Tusk. I think there's nothing really wrong with that. And then go for a massive EQ. I think it's a pretty decent play. But let's see, if we were to Tailwind here, are we using SD Pawn? We're using Sub Pawn. I am going to just switch in the Tauros then. Or sorry, just switch in the Tusk. That means I don't have to Tailwind this turn. I don't think that I would lose my Tornadus this turn if I did that. That's fine. If they do happen to KO this, I will just get a free swap into something else. No, that's greedy. I'm just going to click the Bleak Wind. I think Bleak Wind's a fine play here. And they're not going to be able to double up into that slot correctly. Here we go. Because we do outspeed Tauros with the Tornadus as well. So, like, I think we're going to be able to just dumpster it. Unless it's, like, a vested Tauros, which I think is a fine set. There probably are arguments to be made for going for just a raw Tailwind here. But I'm not afraid of one of these Mons, like, just nuking my Tornadus before we can do anything. Phantom Force is completely fine. So, what I did here was delay the activation of my speed control until I needed it. I think a lot of people are like, I'm just going to hit Tailwind. Was that a Power Herb boosted Phantom Force? That's actually really cool. But it doesn't really matter because, like I said, we would have been able to KO the Tauros if we got a chance to hit it. And yeah, delaying my speed control gives me an extra turn on that speed control because now I can go for my Tailwind, right? Now I can go for Tailwind, get the full maximum value out of it, and just big EQ baby all the way across the sky. Big damage against Tauros. Going to be able to finish off that Dragapult, and then I can just bring in my Ogerpon. I can still just hit my Ogerpon. I can go for like a sub. I can go for Spiky Shield. They're pivoting out that Pult, which I think is fine. And yeah, Rotom being great swapping here. We have a good amount to check it in like the Ogerpon in the back, but we're gonna be able to do a lot to this Tauros. Maybe even get a KO. Survey says EQ baby. Let's see if the Tauros actually gets a KO or if they're like Wisp. Now that they haven't Terastallized yet, so they can still have like a Flying Tear or something weird. Almost gets the KO. Let's see if it's Flare Blitz. Citrus. Huh. Normally I would think that guy would come with like a vest, but they should protect first turn. Wisp. There's the Wisp. It's almost like they played the game. So in this situation, there are a couple things we could do. we could go for a Bleak Wind. That's fine. I think I'm going to hard switch out my Tornadus for my Ogre Pawn, because I think they're going to go for a Thunderbolt, and we can just come in here and be fine. And then Tusk isn't really doing me that many favors, so I'm just going to hard switch my Ninetales. And now we have a really, really aggressive, like, Sun board. So this mitigates them doing a couple things. First of all, if they would like to Wisp into that Tornadus slot or Thunderbolt into the Tornadus slot, this Ogre Pawn that we're going to be swapping in stops both of those. Another thing that happens if they want to Hydro Pump something, we just swapped in a Sun Ninetales, so we're in a really, really good spot here. I would not be surprised to see the the Tauros go for a Protect in this situation to block the Bleak Wind and then Thunderbolt this Ogre Pawn slot. As long as I don't get paralyzed by a Thunderbolt, I should be in a pretty good position. It's almost like I play the game. And it doesn't really matter what they're doing. Thunderbolt and or Hydro and or Wisp. Volt Switch, same idea. I'm actually happier to see Volt Switch just because they can't paralyze with that. So basically the turn went pretty much exactly like I said it was going to go. They went for an Electric Attack, they went for Protect. Now Protect is on cooldown. And we're in a pretty good spot. Don't really care if they bring in Dragapult again. They could bring in their Ninetales, but like we outspeed it. So let's see, what are your plans here? Note that I don't think I ever actually set Tailwind, but I don't think I ever actually... No, I did set Tailwind, sorry. So we just outspeed everything here. This pops... I'm going to pop the Pult, I think. We could even sub here. Is that Infiltrator Pult? I think the Pult doesn't have Protect because it showed... it swapped when it was pinned earlier, so I'm just going to pop the Pult. And then from there, I'm not afraid of that Tauros. But I think I have to Terastallize. Yeah, I do have to Terastallize. Otherwise, the Tauros goes for a big Flare Blitz boosted by the Sun. So we want to lose that Grass typing. So we're going to make sure we KO the Pult here. And we're actually just going to Encore the Tauros. Cool. Here we go. So I want to make sure we take this Pult out. I would like to make sure that Tauros is stuck protecting. And then next turn, we're going to go for a Howl Grassy Glide into the Rotom. This is going to give us a +1 attack on our Ogre Pawn, and we're using a Sun-boosted Bonk Hammer. So it's a lot of damage. Let's see if they got any protects. There's the Encore. Note that our Ninetales is just a little bit faster than his Ogre Pawn, so we can actually go for those Howl combo plays. So there is the Bonk Hammer. Cudgel, I've never really even looked at it. Cudgel, it's the Bonk Hammer. Like, they're Dunzo McGee over there. So Dragapult goes down for the count. And... well, Tauros is stuck protecting. Let's see if it's a double. It does not get a double, so that will be able to protect this turn. So this turn, the Tauros is going to be either protecting or switching. So we can just completely ignore that slot, double into the Rotom. If the Rotom protects, then we Encore that as well. Ninetales is completely fine to see here. I'm trying to think of what they could actually Terra into that would be problematic. Like water typing, we could just go grass. Like we can just throw Grassy Glide and a Flare Blitz into that slot. Because if they were to go Water Terra, they lose. I mean, I guess they could still go, like, Dragon Terra, and that would be kind of lame, but, like, I think this is okay. Pivot the Tauros into the Rotom, absolutely fine. We have the Grassy Glide that, just because we don't have the terrain, doesn't mean the Grassy Glide doesn't do massive damage against Rotom. They have to Terastallize this Ninetales or they lose it. Ninetales versus Ninetales, and we are going to be able to take this guy out. They did not Terastallize. And we got the Glides. So they're going to be able to come in and get a great Intimidate up with their Tauros. But I don't actually see this being like a bad position to be in. My Tailwind will peter out, but our Mon should be low-key faster than some of theirs. We still have a pivot available as well. Like, we're probably just going to pivot out our... I'm probably going to Spiky Shield my Ogre Pawn. Pivot out my Ninetales in for Tusk. And lose the Tusk over the next few turns. And then probably be fine. Because I would like to reset the Sun, I think. And... this is a pretty good play. Because even if you take out the Tusk, I just bring out the Ninetales, reactivate the Sun, and then I just go back down to popping things. So here we go. Spiky Shield. Let's see if they want to make contact. CC baby! That's what we like to see. Take that damage back there. Cool beans. So Tauros takes a little bit of chip. Hydro into probably that same slot. Oh, they missed on Tusk. I kind of wanted them to hit, but it's not the end of the world. I think we're just going to double into the Tauros here. So you can see I'm still actually at neutral because we got a +1 boost from our Embody Aspect ability. So I think we can just... double in the Tauros. Like both those moves into the Tauros slot probably get the KO. You know what? I think there's nothing really wrong though, with just going for this move here into the Tauros. and just hard switching the Ninetales to mitigate the damage from Hydro Pump. I think that's better. And then if they do protect Tauros, we can then Encore Lock it. So this is a pretty good play. And it protects our Ogerpon from eating a Hydro Pump. Because like, let's say I double into that Tauros with like a Headlong Rush and the Bonk Hammer, and they go protect, Hydro Pump my whatever guy. That's fine. That's fine. We're good. They do outspeed us on that, but they're also going to drop their defensive stats. So they should get KO'd easy peasy lemon squeezy. And let's go. Big damage. And let's see what the Rotom's going to use here. They could totally go for another Hydro. If it misses, like Ninetales should be able to clean up. Tornadus is good at cleaning up. We have the stuff that we need. Yep. Easy peasy. All right, you ready for this? Here we go. Grassy Glide, dropping the GG, baby. I'm going to drop the Howl. This is going to be sick. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so cool. We actually get the Howl off. It's nice. And I really like that this team has like, oh, they are going to Terra. So one cool thing about Terra here is like, right now, the only mon that I actually have that can do good damage to Rotom is, they have Grass Terra, that's absolutely fine. Is the, what is it, the Ogerpon. And the only thing I had that was like the Ivy move. But now if they Terra, like I can hit it with Tornadus. Like I can hit you with Tornadus, I can now hit you with Ninetales, I can now hit you with Great Tusk. And so I think this is absolutely fine. I wonder who they're actually going to go after. This is still going to do a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And then Volt Switch into, oh, the Ogre. They get the KO on the Ogre, but like, that's absolutely fine. Good play, though. Good play. They save their Terra until they really, really need it. I do like Grass Terra Rotom. I think it's pretty good. Let's see what I actually do want to send out. Ninetales is going to get the Oko. I just need a little bit of 100% guaranteed damage. So Great Tusk, the Gourmet. Love Great Tusk, man. That big photosynthesis into attack, dude, it's absolutely what we love to see over here. So here we go. We drop the big close combat. Remember, it still does have Levitate even when it Terastallizes. And then this is a +1 Flare Blitz in the sun from Ninetales, dude. It's so good. This actually just, that's still a lot. And we already saw their Citrus Berry on their Tornado, so we don't have to, sorry, on their Tauros, so we don't need to worry about it. So we're coming here. You got that, what is it? You got Aka Berry Rotom? Nah. So we take those wins all the way to the bank. Pretty good first game. I think Ninetales specifically was absolutely amazing in the mirror. And, yeah, people be sleeping on Ninetales, but it's a really, really good mon in my opinion. Wait, why are there so many Rotoms? I don't get it. Is there something that I'm not seeing here? Is this Aaron Cybertron Zang Appreciation Day? I don't understand why there's so many Rotoms running around right now. That being said, King Gambit's a pretty cool mon. I think we have a great matchup against this. I think their only win con is Trick Room Flutter. So if we lead 2 mons that like pin Flutter, we should be fine. That's probably going to look something like Ogerpon Gambit. I think we just lead both these. Even if they have something really strong, I think we're good. And even if they have Trick Room Flutter, I think if we bring like Rillaboom, we can then, you know, just Grassy Glide out. We can also enable our Ogerpon to correctly use, you know, the big damage. From there, I don't think we necessarily need like Taunt or anything from this guy. I think that like Tusk is probably just solid. Don't think we need Shempao here. I don't think we need Shempao. Shempao, I think, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's a double-edged sword of ruin. Not only do you get the double defense chop with your opponent's mons, but you shred your teammates' defense as well, and I don't really want to shred my Ninetales or my Ogerpon's defense all that much if I don't have to. I think it's pretty good when you have, like, the right aggressive lead, but Shempao can sit at home this time. So, Conk Flutter. I think we're just going to double into the Flutter, and that's just going to be how the news goes. We could technically just throw a Roar into that Flutter, realistically, to stop TR if we wanted to, but I think that doubling into the Flutter would be absolutely fine. Because I think, that, again, their only win con here would be Trick Room. Yeah, I think it would be Trick Room. So let's double into it. Worst case scenario, what, Ogerpon eats like a what? A Drain Punch? That's okay. We're good. We're good. You could stone, what is it? You could Power Gem something, but if you're Power Gemming, you know what you're doing? You're not Trick Rooming. Protect is absolutely fine. So next turn, I might just throw an Encore into that slot. I still think we should respect it, though. I still think we should respect it. Because I could also Encore build with their Mental Orb. What if their Mental Orb Trick Room Flutter? They're doing their absolute best to try and work me over this game. TP? Yep, that's absolutely okay. It's totally fine. I think I live the Mach Punch. I do think I live the Mach Punch. It's like, it's going to be really close, though. It's okay. Yeah, we're just trying to stop TR. I think if we stop TR, the game's over. If we stop TR, the game's over. You know what? I'm gonna drop the Spiky Shield, and I'm gonna try the Encore. I think that you are trying to set Trick Room, And I'm going to go on a limb and say that that's what you're doing. If you would like to Moonblast or Shadow Ball me, Mach Punch, there it is. Cool. We can pivot that out next turn. And show me Trick Room Flutter. Take that little recoil all the way to the bank. Shadow Ball. Absolutely fine. So now you're locked in Shadow Ball, which means I do not need to respect Trick Room. Even a little bit. You have a lot of damage here, but you're locked into that now. And so I think I'm going to pivot in my Tusk, who then outspeeds both, and I'm just going to go... Let's see. Lefty's Conk. Wow, this is just so weird. All right, so we can eat the Mach Punch over on Rillaboom's side. Sorry, we eat the Shadow Ball on the Rillaboom side. So we're double swapping here. And this is going to enable our Ogerpon to come out and just go for massive Grassy Glides in this situation. But yeah, I think this is a really weird looking team from them. They went for the turn 1, like, Protect Flutter. They went for, like... They made it look as much like Trick Room as possible. They got the big damage on the Conk. But I think we're going to be okay. Tusk eats the Mach Punch like an absolute champion. Rillaboom is our vested monster, which should do its absolute best to eat the Shadow Ball, which they are locked into. And I feel that we can, like, low-key double into that Flutter slot. There's a Mach Punch. Not doing anything here. There's a Shadow Ball. It should do less than half. So we're going to get a little bit of HP recovery. So they should know that we pin their Flutter. But I'm trying to think, should I just nuke the Conk? Should I bonk the Conk? It's a lot of damage. I'm going to close combat because you don't need to headlong rush things in this matchup. Because you don't want to have Rotom pivot in. I'm going to double into this Conk, I think. Like this. And if they swap in Rotom, they just lose it. Yeah, Flutter Mane has to pivot. It's stuck using Shadow Ball, doesn't really like that situation. So we might, like, Oko the Conk and then redirect into the Rotom, which would be really nice. There's a Rotom right there. That's what I was talking about here. Oko? No. We'll just take a win then. Don't need to Oko when you can just take these wins. Next turn we can Grassy Glide up that Rotom. There's the Wood Hammer. Now, I will say that we locked in close combat when they can just bring out Flutter Mane, but I'm not really that afraid of the Flutter. Maybe I should be, right? Maybe I should be, but I'm not. We also have, like, Dark Terra, which can sometimes be useful, but probably not in this exact situation. So they're going to bring out their Flutter again, right? All we have to do is pivot out. Flutter comes in. Again, I'm trying my best to stop Trick Room. They get a speed boost. Yeah, I'll probably just pivot out and nuke the Rotom. So just Ninetales comes back in. Fire Terra if we need it. Not bad. I'll go Fire Terra. I bet this Oko's Rotom. I'm going to ignore the Rotom. I'm going to Fire Terra to do two things. Number one, it's going to mitigate damage from fairy attacks, right? If you want to Dazzle, if you want to Moonblast, Rotom's not going to die. Or Rillaboom's not going to die. Number two, stops Wisp, right? So if you would like to go like Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam into my Great Tusk, and then Wisp my Rillaboom, we're absolutely good here. I don't want to Grassy Glide that Rotom because I would like to force them to Terra. And I'm still doing my absolute best to try to respect Trick Room in this matchup. There's the Moonblast. Ninetales holds. Let's see what the Rotom's doing. Show me that Wisp. Show me that Wisp. Special attack drop does not matter. There's the Wisp. It's almost like I play the game professional Pokemon where that's +1 with the Fire Terra Rillaboom. And even if you have a Sash Flutter, we have Grassy Glide now. And we can then Encore your Rotom into Wisp. It's almost like I play the game. Almost. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're in a great spot here. So we never had to pull like any triggers there. I really, really like this. And then Wisp doesn't work against either of these mons because we're both fire types. So really, really cool stuff. Encore here. Grassy Glide there. And we're in a great spot. You can pivot again, but like you're the one that's now on the back foot. And they know that we have Encore on this Ninetales. They don't know that we have Grassy Glide though, because we haven't shown it yet. So let's see what they want to do. The right play is to like play a little bit more defensive and pivot here, but then I'm still getting free damage, free turns, restoring health with the Grassy Terrain. So, oh, they're just staying in. Is this Mentor Rotom Wash? I hope not. And then once the Rotom is locked into Wisp, we're just going to double into the teammate for the rest of the game. So it's probably going to be something like Gambit is kind of what I'm thinking. So like a Howl to avoid Sucker Punch, Stomping Tantrum would probably KO the Gambit. If they would like to go Terra or something, that's fine. But we get those big Howls. So let's see what the last mon is. Let's see what the last mon is. Show me that Gambit. Show me. Ursaluna. Okay, that's fine. We popped this guy. And we're just going to go Howl. And the Woodhammer's probably fine. Rilla has an 85 base speed, but we're speed reduced 0 speed, but I still think we outspeed this Luna. And even if we don't, I think we have the right, like, I think Ogerpon just comes out and just dumpsters things. I don't actually want to click the Grassy Glide in case they did Terra defensively. Like, if they want, like, maybe a Dragon Terra, I want to do over half. I've seen a lot of weird Ursaluna Terras. You could still go Fire Terra on, it's not, like, bad. But there's the Howl. And let's see if we outspeed this Luna with our min speed 0 reduced Rilla. 85 versus, like, a 52 base speed. And we do outspeed. And so they're absolutely donezo, McGee. And then let's see if the Rilla goes down. If it does go down, it's not the end of the world. We have Ogerpon in the back to be able to Grassy Glide spam out the Rotom. No, don't even go down. Easy peasy. Ninetales Rillaboom. Dude, Ninetales is making plays out here, dude. Ninetales is such an underrated mon in this format. Like, regular Kanto Ninetales. The Grassy Glide is now turned off, but, like, we don't. It's actually better that it's turned off, because now we can just go second and to go get a second Howl boost. So we take those wins all the way to the bank. Ah, no Rotom here, dude. Never lucky. No, I'm kidding. This is a cool team. You don't see Bundle all that often anymore. So against Bundle, because they don't have Tailwind, I can just actually lead my Tornadus. Even if they want to fake out, I am going to get something up. So I think that there's nothing really wrong with, like, Tornadus and, like, maybe another aggressive Mont to lead. Tornadus Tusk actually does sound kind of nice. You just go Tailwind, EQ, hit both their mons for, like, half. I actually don't dislike that. Yeah, you just lose the Tusk, and then you bring out something like Ogerpon, and Ninetales is actually very, very nice here. Really kind of like Ninetales here, but I think Shempao is also very good at being able to low-key check Heatran. I mean, it makes it so Ogerpon doesn't have to do everything itself, but I do think that Ninetales is better because it stops the Grassy Glide spam from Rilla, and it's harder for Bundle to have an impact versus Ninetales. Ninetales also does outspeed Urshifu, and isn't as, like, susceptible to a lot of, like, the things Urshifu has. Like, for example, like, Urshifu would have a better matchup for Shempao, in my opinion, than Ninetales, I guess. We'll see. Because, like, Ninetales has the Ghost Terra as well in case we need to block, like, a fighting attack. Yes, you can go for dark attacks, but then, like, if you're going for dark attacks, like, you're going to get messed up by other mons on our team. So it's hard to say. I think the Ninetales being able to enable the Ogerpon is just the better pick. It also disincentivizes Bundle. Like, what are you going to do? Go for a Hydro Pump? I just swap a Ninetales and I'm good to go. So this exact lead is a little bit of a weird one. Let me think about what I want to do here. Now, they do not know, because we're playing on closed team sheet, you know, best of one ladder. They don't know where my Cobra Cloak is and that it's on my Torn. They're going to get a speed boost here. What I think I'm going to do here is probably just Tailwind and OHKO their Bundle with a close combat. I think that's a fine play. And if you happen to go for a read and go for, like, a big Grassy Glide, I don't think Grassy Glide kills Tusk, by the way, or like a Woodhammer to the Tusk, we talked about wanting that to happen. We just bring an Ogerpon and then check you and win the game. So I want this Bundle gone. And I can deal with your Rilla when I feel about it, because I have two Firemons in the back that have stat increasing moves in Howl. So let's see, are you going to go Protect Bundle? Survey says Protect Bundle. What a good player, Protect Bundle. I think what they're going to do is fake out the Torn, but we have Covert Cloak. I think Covert Cloak's like a must-have item on mons like this, on the best of one closed team sheet ladder. It's so good. It drops off a lot in closed team sheet. Sorry, open team sheet, but in closed team sheet, you can do things like this. And they're almost forced to make that play. Like, that's how this team was built. It forces that play out of your opponent. You get a 1 for none, and yeah, you're locked into close combat now, but next turn I'm just going to click Bleak Wind Close Combat into your Rilla, which really punishes most common Rilla Terras, which are fire, right? It's not super effective or anything, but they have to Terra to lose their weakness. Otherwise, they just lose their Rilla, and if they lose their Rilla, they're going to go really down on the tempo. So they're going to come out with something that would pin the Tusk here. You see how this board doesn't really matter. We're going to be able to... We didn't also know which Urshi it was. I'm actually really surprised to see Water Urshi. It does make sense in hindsight, but I really thought this was going to be Dark Urshi on this team. Yeah, we're just going to double into the Rilla, and then from there we have two Rilla-y good mons in Ogerpon and Ninetales to beat their Urshi. Also, we just check Urshi with this, so it's like, we're fine. Another reason why we want to target the Rillaboom here is because Urshi Waters, they normally carry a protecting move, like Detect. They can Terra away. They also Let's see. They also could, yeah, they could go Ghost Terra away, but yeah, they usually carry Protect. So we're just going to punish them on that wouldn't normally have Protect here. See, they're using that as bait. Why would I take the bait? There's no reason to take the bait. I'll take the Secure Wins. And, oh my god, really? You were... Okay, yeah, go for it. That's fine. Even at -1, like, we knew we were going to live it. You had to crit. Yep, and so as long as we hit this Bleak Wind, we're easy peasy lemon squeezied up. Let's go, Bleak Wind. Guaranteed ease. And so we got exactly what we still need to succeed here. They could come in and Aqua Jet our Tusk, and that's absolutely okay. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I think I might taunt the Heatran. I know that sounds really weird, but I think I might taunt the Heatran just so I can not care. I think they're going to Terastallize their Urshi, attack, and then we just bring out Ninetales. And then if you can't protect with the Heatran, I just bonk hammer you and we win the game, right? So, taunt the Heatran. We'll try and close combat this Urshi, actually. Because Urshi didn't protect, which means I don't think it has it. Which means it might be like a Scarf Urshi, and if we have to... If you're using a Scarf Urshi, I don't really care. Because you have to lock into something here before I reveal anything else. I could try and swap a Ninetales. I could try and get cute here. I don't think I have to. I have enough resources to kind of just pressure out for the rest of the game. Ninetales is going to be the absolute perfect Pokemon to bring here. It's going to disincentivize Surging Strikes. It's going to be able to, if you're walking in close combat and go Ghost Terra, like you have to do something there, yeah. So water? Cool, so they're going to double dip their water. If you have Aqua Jet, you have Aqua Jet, and I'm not stopping you. I also want to see if your Heatran protects. If your Heatran does protect here, which is not a bad play, next turn it would be on cooldown. We would just pin it with Ogerpon. So that's one of the reasons why like taunting into the Heatran is a really good play there, because it's going to solidify the Heatran for future turns. And you maybe think, why didn't you just Bleak Wind? The Urshifu like had to Terra, and it's like, well, I have to get it. It has to Terra whether I Bleak Wind or not. That's one of the reasons why we don't really need it to. Flash Cannon, that's a cool move. Smart too. Actually, it would have been better for us if they got the KO because I would have swapped the Ninetales for free, but it's okay. So Ogerpon's going to come in, and I am going to Terastallize it. I don't know if it's exactly the right play, but I'm thinking that's a Scarf Urshi. And I want to be able to guarantee KO this Heatran with my ability, which is the... Actually, this one has Mold Breaker, right? So actually, I don't Terastallize. There we go. Learning. We're going to pivot out. And... yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the big damaging move. Yeah, if I would have Terastallized, I would have lost Mold Breaker. Hey, I'm still getting used to playing with Ogerpon. It's okay. So we got big Mold Breaker right now. It's neutral damage for Heatran in the sun. So let's see how much damage we actually can get here. Remember, they cannot protect. Also, preserving our Torn might be a good play. I still think that's a Scarf Urshi, by the way. So we can take that thing out literally whenever we feel like it. We could Grassy Glide that thing right now. I don't want to open myself up to Earth Powers or anything weird. So yeah, let's just see what they're going to do here. Torn pivots out. If we see Aqua Jet one more time, we will guarantee confirm the choice item on the Urshi. And let's see. Sunlight's going to turn harsh. Let's see if we can Oko the Heatran. They are Aqua Jetting. Cool, cool. Sounds good. Not going to do a ton. Ninetales still eats it. Big bonk hammer damage. Sun boosted. Oh my gosh. And we got the crit, dude. That's what we like to see. That's so freaking cool. Ogerpon busted. Looks like Fire Pond actually kind of nice out here. Alright, and then we just win. Grass D's glides. Oh my goodness. Big. Oh, we actually didn't get the KO. Wow, that's our bulky guy. Well, we get the Howl. We get the Flex. We get the Flex win. I guess I could have Flare Blitzed, but looks like they're not choiced. Huh. Because they're not using Aqua Jet this turn. It really doesn't matter because they can't break the Ninetales and the Torn here. They don't even do anything to that Ogerpon either because we actually kept our grass typing, so it's neutral damage right now in the sun. Like, oh my gosh, it's so nice. So nice. Alright. We're going to take this all the way to the bank. Again, remember, our Ninetales is faster than our Ogerpon, just so we can go for these Howl combos. But yeah, at this point, you just throw 2 attacks into him. Because you don't want to, like, go for another Howl and have it, like, mess it up. There we go. Aqua Jet. They're going big damage, but you can't stop it all. Who are you going after? You're trying your absolute best out here, but it's not going to be enough. The big FB, baby. Big Kanto Ninetales picking up KOs on Urshifus, dude. I absolutely love to see it. This Ninetales set is amazing. Ninetales is amazing in this format right now. Okay, Scizor and Conk. It's a big Conk day out here. I think that what I like to do against weather, there's two ways to play against weather. You want to see if you have a faster or slower weather setter than them. And so in this case scenario, since we have the slower weather setter, we can technically lead Ninetales, because if they lead Ninetales and we lead Ninetales, we underspeed them and we win. Their weather's turned off, they have to pivot, they have to bring it back in. That's way too much of a tempo loss. So we're afforded the luxury of leading with Ninetales if we want. We can also technically leave Ninetales in the back to be able to bring it out in the mid game after they show their Ninetales, which is what I think we are going to do. I will say also that there's not that much speed control on their team, so I can do the exact same way that I did against Bundle in their last game. I can go Tailwind, I can go just pop your Bundle, I'm good to go. If for some reason you would like to go for... I have to respect Chi-Yu, but I really do like this lead because I get to just go Tailwind and do stuff, and that's great. We bring the Ninetales and bring the Ogerpon, but I'm thinking like if you were to go Bundle... Water Pond, that might be something I don't want to see as much. I might just click the Bleakwind into that. Maybe I'll Terastallize my Torn or something. But we're going to lose Torn early, and then we're going to try and just close out the game with our Ogerpon set. I think Ogerpon is really, really good here. And I could probably make an argument for bringing Rilla in this matchup. Maybe this game went to like a game 2 or game 3, or I played them in another game. Rilla might start coming, because I think that once they realize that Water Pond is very, very good against our team, even in the sun, they might start bringing it more, but let's see if they do it right. Yeah, they lead the Ninetales. So we could have just led the Ninetales, absolutely dumpstered the game. We could have led Ninetales in anything. They would have had no weather, absolutely, positively okay. Oh, that is not a booster bundle. No booster bundle is no problem. So it's probably Sash bundle. So that means I'm going to ignore it for a turn. And so I'm just going to get their Ninetales off of the board. Do they have any ghosts? They did not. So we're going to just call it close combat. And we're also going to get to see if we're... Well, we are faster than their bundles. So we can take it out wherever we feel like it. But I want to get their Ninetales off the board. I'm going to try to get their Ninetales off the board. This is going to be a sun-boosted CC baby. No, I mean sun boosting the photosynthesis. I think we still OHKO them, though. Here we go. Big attack boost. Pivot out the Ninetales. Great play from them. That's what you have to do in this situation. Let's see if their bundle's protecting or icy winding. If it's icy winding, I think that's still fine. The Water Pond is so big in this matchup, I'm just going to take it out right now. Are you going Ghost Terra? I'm not even mad for going Ghost Terra. Are you going Ice Terra? Are you going to go risk it for the biscuit out here? Oh my god, they actually are. They're Sash bundle, so they get 2 turns to try this. But, let's see how it goes. CC baby taking out this big Water Pond. Like, that's basically taken out. That's basically taken out. And let's see what they're doing with the bundle. Any whiffed blizzards? They hit both of their blizzards. Literally, that's a +1. Never, ever lucky. Tusk goes down, but I think that's fine. Because now we just bring out Torn and go Tailwind, Flare Blitz. And you would die. But you don't know I'm physical. It's harder to see. I don't hate this play. So they don't know if we're physical or special. That's like I think the big thing that's really, really important here. We have to Tailwind. I think if we get the Tailwind off, we enable the rest of our mons to work correctly. That being said, what do we want to do with this Tailwind? Because I think the Ninetales is pivoting in. Flare-Blitz is like okay. I don't want to swap in on that. What if you're Spexed? There might be Spexed. Just get the Tailwind up. Pivot up for now. Oh, no pivot. No pivot. Are you just following me? I mean, that's fine. No, follow me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that ain't it. So you were Spexed. Okay. Yeah, we respected the Specs. They should have followed me. Okay. Yeah. Big Ninetales energy. You can go big hard with this Water Pond here, but I think we're good now because we have the Tailwind. Yep. Who are you hitting, though? Nice. All right, so they're going to bring out their Ninetales, but, like, I think we just go, like, Icy Wind plus, like, Bonk from here, and we're good to go. I'm going to go Icy Wind, I think, over the Bleak Wind, because I think it will still KO the Water Pond. Even if they Water Tear, I think they still lose it. And then it breaks the Sash on the Ninetales. We want to guarantee, make sure that we're hitting these moves. I am going to Terastallize, I think. Let's see. You have no Heatran. What's my Terra on my Torn? Is it Ghost? It's Flying Double Dip. There's no reason not to Terastallize here. I'll take the +1. Even if you have like a Dragon Terra, you're going to take way too much damage here. Is this like Scarf Ninetales, bro? That'd be funny. I should still outspeed with Tailwind. As long as we hit these Icy Winds, because I think their play here is like follow me, right? We should be good to go. So he's going to give us a +1 attack boost. No more Sun, but I hit these Icy Winds. Survey says, what you got? Spiky Shield. Cool. We don't even have to hit the Icy Wind on Ogerpon. We can do that next turn. And Icy Wind should be 100% accuracy in the Hail. It should. I'm not wrong. Cool, we hit that. So it's going to break that potential Sash if they have it. We're going to Oko right there. And then we're going to see what their last mon is. I don't think they have anything that comes in and just blocks Icy Wind plus the fire attack. Now, one thing that a lot of people are doing right now is using Dragon Terra to actually stop Ogerpon, because it walls all the different stuff. It blocks all the different like Ogerpon attacks, like the fire and water ones and the grass one, and then like, you know, Dragon Terra is just a decent Terra right now. But Dragon Terra doesn't do that hot against Icy Wind. So I feel like this is just like a really, really good, like that's one of the reasons why I still have Icy Wind on this team. You might think that it might be a better idea. The right play here, this is actually a hard one to see. It's actually bonk this thing and Icy Wind this thing. Now, yes, they could technically go for a second Spiky Shield and go for an attack, but I think it's a higher % chance that's Wide Guard Conk. And so we want to make sure that we take out the Water Pond. Because again, you're just doubling that slot. The Icy Wind's going to get the KO anyways. And even if we miss the Icy Wind, we still want to make sure that we take that slot out. So it's actually better targeting to go like this, I would say. And then it redirects our attack into that Conk. Big, that's a +1 damage here. Can we get a second crit? High crit ratio move. Oh my gosh, that move is just absolutely nuts. No crit, just damage. Take those wins all the way to the bank. Let me know the answer to the question of the day. If you guys got to this far in the video, let me know as well which Ogerpon form you think is best and why. I think the fire one is really, really good right now. The water one's great for defensive play, and I think the grass and rock ones actually are very, very good as well. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and other than that, thank you so much for watching one more time. Peace out. I'll see you guys next time.